Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of H.R. 5985. This legislation, which I introduced last fall, would name the United States Post Office on Seagaze Drive in Oceanside after Charlesetta Reece Allen. In addition to being one of the first black residents of Oceanside, Miss Allen was a pioneer and community leader. She was a businesswoman, a church pastor, and founder of the Oceanside Girls Club. I can think of no better honor than to permanently recognize her in our community. Miss Allen was born in Texas in 1913 and came to Oceanside in the 1930s. Soon after moving to Oceanside, Charlesetta began engaging with her community. She started catering food for her neighbors out of her home and eventually opened the first black-owned storefront in Oceanside, a restaurant which served as a popular social gathering spot for residents who started to arrive during and after World War II. Throughout her time in Oceanside, Miss Allen was dedicated to feeding and caring for the Marines stationed at Camp Pendleton. She went on to found the Oceanside Girls Club, where she served as director. Recently, I had the privilege of sitting down with Eddie Parks, the nephew of Miss Allen and an Oceanside resident. He spoke very highly of his aunt, emphasizing her long-lasting impact on the Oceanside community and his gratitude for the opportunity to honor her. He's thrilled to see his aunt recognized in a space used by so many in our community. I'm touched by the deep ties that Miss Allen and her family have to Oceanside, and I'm honored to represent the community that still benefits from her legacy. If passed, this legislation will not only honor Miss Allen as an Oceanside resident and community leader, but it will also continue to display the commitment our community shares to honoring those who've done so much for us. As a community that serves and is served by Camp Pendleton, Oceanside holds this value in its DNA. Thank you to my fellow Californians who join me in support of this legislation. I urge the remainder of my colleagues to vote in favor of H.R. 5985 to name the Oceanside Seagaze Post Office after the remarkable Charlesetta Reece Allen, who dedicated her life fighting for equal justice and freedom in Oceanside and beyond. It's the least we can do to honor someone who did so much for our community. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.